Well, here we are again. Today is Thursday, the 31st of March, and this is going to be HapPhi's covering of today in cryptocurrency. And there's a lot of crazy news out there. Is the dollar dead? Well, I'm not a person who knows the future completely, which technically makes me an optimist. The definition of an optimist is somebody who believes the future is unknown, and I am one. However, I'm going to say yes, the dollar's days are pretty much winding to an end, and this writing on the wall. So, why do I say that? Well, yesterday, I guess technically, Russia announced officially tying the ruble to the gold standard. So the gold standard makes them actually have a real currency. So Russia's been planning for us to be what we did by taking them off SWIFT and removing them from the international banking system for quite some time. They had plenty of time to prepare. During that period of time, they had accumulated 2,301.64 tons of gold. So they've got they've got the reserves. Now they've been able to put together a system that will tie each gram of gold to a certain amount of rubles, and it's 1 gram to 5,000 rubles. So 32 grams of gold will now cost 1.6 million rubles in Russia. 32 grams of gold would be about 1,600 bucks, basically. So this is really big news. Why? Because the United States, for a long, long time, had basically we were the country that had the oil standard tied to money. So is the petrodollar. Some strange thing happened in 2020 where we got somebody in office who campaigned against oil. Okay. Now, this isn't a political show. This is just strictly about crypto, but the facts are the facts. He campaigned, Mr. Biden and his people said, listen, we're going to go after oil. First day shut down Keystone, continued to take away permits to be able to drill, went after oil companies publicly, and all the way through now. And the price of oil has jumped up dramatically. And if you listen to what the administration's saying, they're saying, look, just go out and buy a $60,000 electrical car and shut the fuck up, basically is what they're saying. So that's where we are. So if your president and the administration is going after the one thing for which your dollar is known for and what pegs the dollar to the world economy, what do you think is going to happen? Well, nothing good. So Saudi Arabia is now in talks with China to move off of the dollar and move into the yen in trade. India is now talking with Russia about trading with rubles. Russia is now making Germany, so they've cut off the oil from Russia to Germany, for which Germany is almost entirely dependent, and said you will buy oil from Russia on rubles or you will get nothing and like it. So essentially, in one incredibly smart move by Russia and one spectacularly stupid move by us, we've allowed Russia to flip the script and essentially remove the United States as the petrodollar. And now we're going to have over half the world buying and selling oil off of the petrodollar and onto a gold-backed currency, which is something that everybody wants anyway because it's real and you can't just print it out of thin air. You actually have to have gold to back it. So the dollar is screwed. And that's my official opinion, but that's good for crypto, okay? So the dollar being down, yes, it will bring the United States from a first world country to a second or third world country fairly rapidly, although our infrastructure, our homes and stuff are very pretty. If you don't have that massive amount of buying power from the dollar, you will eventually be nothing. We will no longer be able to cover the payments on our debts. So our government will look to raise taxes, won't be able to print our way out of it. It's just going to be a bit of a cluster. But that's where they're looking to roll out digital currencies at some point with our government, which also scares me. They'll probably confiscate the money, roll out digital currencies, and then they can devalue the money through the digital currency. So none of this is good if you're a U.S. citizen unless you own Bitcoin. So Bitcoin and other things in a cold wallet. So I don't know if you followed what happened in the EU. The EU actually passed a memorandum today to make cold wallets that were anonymous illegal. So this is, again, bad for the privacy of your transaction. It sure is nice not to have the government tracking everything you're doing. I understand that they want to protect certain things, but cold wallets are inherently your money, and their transactions, if there's something illegal, different thing. They can still track down who you are, but they basically passed it 93-14, so it wasn't even close. Look for something similar to be happening here in the United States. At some point, they're going to say you can't have a cold wallet. And remember, if you don't have the keys, and that's what a cold wallet is, you don't own the coins. So you can have your coins in a public place, in a public Coinbase or KuCoin or Binance. Unless you have that key in a cold wallet, that those coins in a cold wallet, you don't own them. They could be taken at any moment, and that's not good. So what's happening there is a kind of a big deal. The market is down tremendously today, not tremendously in terms of Bitcoin and other things. It's down. Bitcoin is currently at 45,847. This is what I told you guys the other day. The option's expiring today. For some people, it's the end of tax season too. This is the last day, so they'll sell, take their losses, and rebuy tomorrow. But today, the option expiring was set to bring the prices down. It has done so. It should spike back up fairly short, but you never know. I'm not giving you any advice to buy or sell. I'm just telling you that this was very well anticipated. We talked about it, and it happened. This is a big option expiring day, so expect more volatility on that side of things. Some bullish news. So if anybody knows who Larry Fink is arguably the most powerful business person in the world that from a company perspective. Blackrock CEO, they manage 10 trillion with a T in assets. That is a massive company, massive. So all the properties here in the United States, they've been buying up like crazy, really using your money, which is fantastic. So they'll use taxpayer subsidies from the government to go buy up inventory, therefore raising the price for the rest of us. Now, good for him. He's making a lot of money. Good for people who own homes in the short term. At least they're able to make money. Bad for people that are coming in out of college and looking to be able to go, can I buy a house at some point? They've been pretty well priced out. There's not many options unless you want a little teeny place or to move out into a place that you typically wouldn't want to. But neither here nor there. Larry made the point, and when Larry talks, it's like the old E.F. Hutton. When Larry talks, people listen. He said that this Ukrainian-Russia war will be very good for the crypto markets, very good for Bitcoin in particular. As the conflict goes on, it's driving people off your traditional banking system, driving them onto the distributed ledger system, Bitcoin and other things. And you've been seeing that it should continue. Most people that know what the F they're talking about are very, very bullish on cryptocurrencies right now. We here are bullish on Solana, and we've decided to build our product on the Solana platform. We're excited about that. They're very, very fast. We're building some very cool things. We're tying into some of the companies that have built in wallets for them, so we can do Solana Pay. HapPhi token will be 1-to-1, one token for $1, and we're keeping our finger to the pulse, because if that dollar does fall off a cliff, we might have to tie it to some other stablecoin option. So as I'm talking about all this stuff, I'm also trying to figure out how we're going to adjust so the value of our token is stabilized, and that everybody who's coming in will feel comfortable that they're able to transfer money back and forth and immediately switch it to whatever currency that they need, without having a bunch of rigmarole to do it. It'll just be a couple touches of buttons. Your security, make sure you're not being ripped off, which is crucial in the world of crypto and blockchain, and that will be that. So we'll be back for more tomorrow. For today, I think that's pretty much it. We covered that the dollar's not doing so well right now. We covered that Russia has moved to the ruble. We've covered that India is mad. Now, one thing I didn't cover. So why is India doing this? Okay, India is supposed to be our friend. Well, when we pulled out of Afghanistan, we essentially gave Afghanistan to Pakistan and to China, and India fights with China on the border in the Kashmir Strip every day, and India is bitter enemies with Pakistan. So you've got India looked at the writing on the wall and said, wait a second, this is not good. We're going to start to look at for other friends, because with friends like the United States, who needs enemies? We've now armed their biggest enemies with $80 billion of U.S. equipment, and India said, all right, F you, we're going to go work with Russia. Now, the question as to why Saudi Arabia would also work with China, Again, Saudi Arabia is an oil country. The United States has stated publicly we're not going to be supporting oil. We're trying to kill oil directly, which means we're attacking Saudi Arabia's economy and our own at the same time, which is really, really smart. And in doing so, Saudi Arabia said, oh, the writing's on the wall. Plus, we're working with Iran. So Saudi Arabia is also giving us the middle finger. So good job with the current administration. If your job is to drive up prices and just be a disaster, you've done great. But for the crypto market, which is what we're here to talk about, that is actually a fairly good news, because at some point you've got to leverage somewhere else and figure out how you're going to protect those assets. You're not going to protect them in the stock market. You can do it with commodities. You can barely do it with real estate unless you have a ton of money, but it's easy to do with crypto. So as things get rougher, more volatile, you're going to see more people embracing the fact that their money's safer in the crypto side. So just like Larry Fink, I'm bullish on the crypto side as well because of what's happening in the world of geopolitics. Don't mean to get political on here. I'm just trying to let everybody know what's really happening. And just so you can prepare and make sure you protect your family the best that you can and move forward in a positive way. This is very ironic because I have to end this as be happy. And this certainly wasn't the happiest news, but if you actually protect yourself appropriately, it will be a happy place. We're going to move forward. We're going to keep developing things. We're going to keep building products that can make people a ton of money. That's our goal here. We're going to keep moving forward. Hope everybody has a great day, and we will reconvene tomorrow. Thank you.